Hello, so those of you who have been following the channel for a little while will know that I've been very interested in a game called Gate Ruler. Now we have very recently just got quite a large info dump. So in this video I'm basically going to explain that big info dump, information we know about the game, it's quite a lot now, and I'm going to tell you my plan for coverage as we approach the launch and the demo decks and all that kind of stuff. It's quite exciting, so let's go ahead and get started. But first, please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more Gate Ruler videos. Thank you! Okay, so the first thing is, I'm going to, of course, leave a link to all the websites, the resources I use in this video, in the description, so you can go and check them out yourself. I highly recommend all of them anyway. They are great tools. So this is so two things happened yesterday at the time of this recording. So the first thing was there was basically a guy on Twitter released the retail pitch for Gate Ruler, which, to be fair, I'm not 100% sure if he was meant to do, but it got released and all the information's out from it. Partly because of me, I suppose, but also this took place where basically everything that was said in the meeting was reiterated, just without price points, because I suppose those are subject to change. Basically that's it. I have the price points that were presented to the retailers as probably the final retail recommended pricing, but anyway, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the first thing here, as you can see, we've got images of the very first set. So you can see that there. The box looks fine. Looks good. Nice pack art. I wasn't a massive fan of it, but you know, it's a big dragon. It looks cool. The logo looks cool. You can see it along the bottom here. A lot of the cards. Obviously, it's far too small for us to be able to actually give a proper read through. But I will say, Ikeda has a very nice tie on. Is that a JoJo reference? I think it is. And then, of course, we have the front of the box here. Now, one interesting thing about the front of the box is there's a QR code link to a video that says learn the rules in 3 minutes, which is a very bold claim. You know, I'm interested because everything I've heard has been in 5 minutes or less. The rules, that's the full rules, like you'll understand it, which is like, okay, we'll see. I'm interested. I'm given the benefit of the doubt. I have no reason not to believe him. We'll see what happens. So that is what we got there. Now he also said in the actual video the price will be released soon, so it's possible it's actually going to change from what the information that has been sort of leaked by this guy. But it's 36 packs per box and 5 cards per pack. So then we also got the starter decks, and don't worry, I'm going to go over the effects and stuff of all this stuff in a little bit. So we got an announcement of these 2 starter decks. So this is the first one. This is going to be centered on Yomanjin front. Now you can see there is blurred text in the bottom left there. I can tell you that Ikeda, unfortunately for him, accidentally tweeted out the uncensored box art. So we know what it says. It says what a card. It says something to the effect of what a deck that plays with 0 cards starting with 0 cards in hand, exclamation mark, question mark, or something. So very intriguing. We'll see how that works. I'm very interested to see, that's for sure. I have no clue how that's going to work in practice and be very good, but yeah, this is one of the starter decks, and the other one here is this is based on a mechanic called Abyss Summon, which you know a little bit about. We basically know how it works, so I'll be able to show you that as well. But I will say again, the artwork looks absolutely fantastic. So the first one is called Yokai and Giant Robo, so big robots and Japanese mythological monsters. And then there is Dragon Summon, which is you bloody summon some dragons. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now it says some of the cards are not going to be available are not going to be foil, but it seems there will be a way to get a foil version. Honestly, I know for most players that doesn't matter, but as someone who I tend in the games I play to choose 1 or 2 decks that I really like, and I will go full out on those. I mean, over here we've got my Electro Deity deck, which is one of 2. The other one is Detective Conan, but that's all that's not something I can easily access. and you can see if I were to go through it, it's full. It's fully foiled out, like, you know, the SP bells, all that. It was too much money. But as someone who enjoys doing that and really does like and appreciate the shiny, the added shiny factor, that's something that really appeals to me, and I'm glad to know, because that's a big issue in like a lot of games where you just cannot get foil versions of starter deck cards because they are starter deck exclusive and they never print one. So that will not be the case for this, which is nice to know. I spoke about that for a little bit too long, but obviously the whales will be happy to know that. Next, you can see here we got the card back, and I think it looks really nice. Now, I think personally I would have preferred it to be white with that like nice rainbow logo, but I appreciate the red on black. It stands out a lot. That's going to be something you see in a shop and you're going to go, what the hell is that? Like, I've never seen that before. It's going to catch your eye because red, it's, you know, you're going to be like, what the hell is that? So I understand why, and I agree with the decision. I think it looks really nice, and from what I can tell from the back, from the picture, it looks to be kind of that body fight style of card back, which is obviously super high quality and really nice, so I'm looking forward to that. Next, he announces new card processing, which is called Uber Rare, which is apparently a very, very high rarity that will be difficult to come out, presumably like SPs, or maybe like foil mythics from Magic, or like ghost rares from Yu-Gi-Oh! Ultimate rares, potentially that sort of rarity. And I'll say he compares them to ultimate rares in previous tweets, like very directly, like explicitly says it evokes the same kind of feeling in terms of like how nice it looks, not in terms of the actual look itself, but in terms of like, you know, how wow, that's amazing that you get from an ultimate rare, that kind of vibe. He explicitly compares them, so that's nice. And it says it's an unprecedented card processing, and the color illustration background changes and changes to card like an iron plate, so I think it's quite cool. And I think it will be possible to have an entire UR deck right from the go, so I may have to do that, we'll see. Then there was also this card naming contest for this piece of artwork, which was quite nice. And then he announced these future promotions. There are going to be videos, there'll be announcements, there'll be free trial decks, which I will talk about in a little bit. There will be a large tournament. He says 500 people is what he wants to hold, like within a month after release in Japan. So that's amazing for Japanese. Obviously, the tournament kits, all this sort of stuff, right? Very exciting stuff. Now, I will say, it seems that there's some sort of COVID hold-up, so we're going to get the game a month later in the West. And also something I didn't say, and I can't believe I didn't, the game releases on the 26th of December. That's the full release. So that is a hell of a lot sooner than anyone was expecting. And I think it's actually a very opportune time. I'll talk about why that's really good at the end of the video. I appreciate that's not why everyone's necessarily here. They don't want to hear about that, but I'll talk about some of the issues that are happening in other card games and why this is quite a good time to swoop in the West to come in January. Anyway, so that's that. Now, the additional information we got from the investor meeting, you can see from my Twitter. Follow me, link will be in the description because I tweeted this out first. So you can see the starter decks appear to have a 1,500 yen retail price, which probably means it's going to be about $15, £15 once it comes over and you pay all the import taxes and all that stuff here, which is a little bit expensive. He has said you should only need one. There is a small chance you might need two, so I'll take him at his word. That's probably fine. If you need two, it's a bit of a shag needing two of those. Hopefully you'd be able to just split a separate one with someone, but yeah, not ideal. If it's just one, I think £15 is fine. Not a fantastic deal, but a good enough deal. And certainly if you only need two for hyper competitive play, if you could just sit down and build a 90% of the way their deck with just one, that's fine. Let's be real, that's fine. That's pretty good. And obviously if the power level of the decks is good enough to just sit down and play in like a locals, again, that's totally fine for £15. Bearing in mind, this is aimed at a game with people in their 20s, so, you know, people with disposable income, not kids. So that's something to keep. Yeah. So on to the booster set. So this is again 5 cards per pack, 36 packs per box, 250 yen per pack, 9,000 yen per box. Now, 250 yen per pack is, I believe, the very standard 5-card pack pricing, same as Vanguard, and same as Vanguard used to be. Of course, now it's more because it's more cards per pack. But same as Vanguard used to be, same as Body Fight was. I saw some people saying this is too expensive. It's too early to tell. Like there's no way for us to know if we don't know the rarities and the pull rates. Like, this could be really cheap, this could be really expensive. We have no idea. I'm just saying 9,000 yen per box is much more similar to a Magic and Pokemon style pricing in the West. In Japan, obviously, it's a little. I think it is on the more expensive side for the whole box. But again, no idea on the pull rates. Maybe it's worth it. We'll find out. I'm just presenting the information. The price is, of course, subject to change. Otherwise, he probably would have announced it in that video as well. He's probably had some sort of feedback about it, because he definitely mentioned something about boosting pull rates in a tweet as well. So we will have to see. And the other thing, which is very interesting, is he's going to be doing VIP boosters from the start. Now, initially, I was a bit hesitant about this, but basically, he explains his reasoning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you like a short translation in just a second of what he said in the pitch presentation, so you can kind of get some context. But basically, what this appears to be is a 13-card pack, and every single card in the pack is UR rarity. And of course, if that's the case, then this is very cheap for what you're getting. You're basically paying £1 per UR, and that's going to be really good. That's going to drastically reduce the price of those on the second-hand market, which is obviously going to be really good. And it's going to make the game a lot easier, more affordable for you to go out and max rarity your decks. Obviously, pure speculation, we'll have more details on this later, but I just figured it's something you'd want to know, that this VIP booster style thing is starting, and I will say this is definitely, from what he said, a lot better than the Magic one. I've seen people make the direct comparison. They are similar, but this one's a lot better because you're only getting that special max rarity thing in your packs. You're not getting chaff, you're not getting commons. You're like, well, you might be getting commons, but like it's all that special treatment, right? Like it's not going to be like, oh, you're going to be getting some of them in full art, some of them in this, and some of them in that. It's not like that. It's literally just all that. So I think it's better than that, and it's also a bit cheaper, I think, or about the same price actually. I think it's the same price. That was yeah. But anyway. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you the quick little... okay, sorry, I'm not going to give you the whole thing because I've actually said a lot of it already. The main things that I had to say was, obviously a big selling point of the collector's boosters is going to be that there's going to be cards that aren't normally available in foil available in them. You know, it makes sense, want to sell that, give access to that foil and whatever there. And the big thing is that he talks about promos and how the way he's going to do them is every single promo will be reprinted within 6 months. If it's a promo first, but primarily he's going to try and keep them to be alt art and foiling. And he really wants to make sure that every card is accessible because he is very aware that this is a game that's going to go to English, Chinese, as well as Japanese. And he's aware that those markets are all very different, so he's going to make sure that all the cards are in main sets so you can get all the cards, which is obviously really good news for anyone who's had to deal with any Japanese card company before. Yeah, that's really good. He also says a big reason he's doing the collector's boosters is for YouTubers, because that's another big thing. I don't know if you can go and you can look on the Gate Ruler Twitter, but they're doing a big thing with VTubers in Japan right now, and YouTubers and bloggers and all that stuff. They're using them for marketing, making them ambassadors, giving them exclusive cards to reveal, exclusive artwork, all this stuff. Hopefully, he said he's doing a similar thing in the West when the game comes over, so hopefully we'll get the same sort of thing. But yeah, that's going to be something that he's really pushing in terms of marketing, and I think it's going to work out quite well for him. It's no other card game's doing it, and I think it's going to be quite. It's very smart of him. So. The final thing I want to show you before I go on about why the release date is actually quite good is these. So let's go ahead and get this up. So the team at Gate Realize has taken all the cards have been revealed so far, and they have made proxies of them. So of course you can find the original Japanese versions on the website too, but this is going to be the proxies, and so this is from the free distribution starter deck, which I should now say. I can't believe I forgot to say it. Another important date. I believe it's the 26th or the 27th of November. They are going to release the rules, and they're going to release these free-use trial decks. And basically what he said is PDFs will go online. You'll be able to get them from stores too in Japan. PDFs of these cards will go online, and you can just print them out and you can use them. And they will be legal for use in locals as well if you've just printed them out. Not 100% sure how that's going to work. He's going to give a lot more specifics. I assume you can't mix with, like, you know, print out cards and non-print out cards and all this kind of stuff, but he wants to make the game as accessible as possible, so that's why. So on the 26th or 27th of November, I'm probably going to be doing a live stream where I will be learning the game, and I'm probably going to make a video about the rules as well prior to that live stream. So like the video will go out, and then like an hour later or something I'll start streaming. It'll be something like that. But anyway, like that, not guaranteed. We'll see. But yeah, so that's happening in November. So these are going to be some of the cards that will be in that sort of format. Again, we have no real idea on the rules, but these are some of the cards from the first starter deck. And you can see some of the stuff that we're going to have access to. And we also have this keyword Abyss Summon, which, so Priest of Demonic Dragon says activate, send this card to the cemetery, choose one unit from your cemetery with Abyss Symphonia, and you may special summon it by fully its condition. And then the Dragon Vastoros Rex's Abyss Symphonia condition is put 5 darkness cards from your cemetery on the bottom of your deck. So obviously the combo here is have Vastoros Rex in your drop, play Priest, send it to drop zone, special summon out Vastoros Rex, send Priest and 4 other darknesses, and then you special summon out your Rex, who is a 7/7/2. These are big stats. Those are really big stats from what we've seen. And he also, on entry, pops an enemy card and heals you 1, which, you know, this damage system, it looks like it goes up to 10 damage for most rulers. So, like, you know, that's a big heal. So yeah, very relevant. So those are some of the cards, basically. So at this point, I think you've basically got most of the information. I think I've given it all. So the reason I wanted to talk about, oh yeah, November 27th. Sorry, you can't see because my face is covering up. It's November 27th. So what I wanted to say in terms of the release date is the fact that it's coming out in January is not a massive deal, because Digimon comes out in November. There'll also be lots of Digimon videos coming out, and that's a super pre-sale. But like let's be real, that's the release. The release in January is basically a restock, and I think you're going to be seeing a lot less hype in January for Digimon. The hype for Digimon is going to be in February when we get 1.5 and we get the rest of those first few sets. Of course, assuming something doesn't happen in Japan and set 4 doesn't completely screw the whole format and no one wants to buy into the game, which is a possibility. I hope it doesn't happen, because Digimon's a really cool game for me, and I hope it's good. But yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say was Magic is in an absolute mess right now, so Magic players are probably going to be interested in trying the game out. And Vanguard is in an absolute state at the moment, and depending on what Overdress is, you might just see that whole game like quit and go and be looking for new stuff. So and we're probably finding out what Overdress is in January, so I think like the fact that it's a Western release in January could be either very good for it or very bad if everything goes well for all these other card games. We'll see. Either way, you can rest assured that I'll be here to cover the game in its entirety, hopefully for the many years that it goes on for. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button. You'll be notified whenever I make a video about Digimon, Gate Ruler, or Zenenzard if you're interested in that too. That's my bread and butter at the moment. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you did, leave a like, comment your thoughts on all the stuff discussed in this video. I'm genuinely interested to hear them. And please check the description for links to all this kind of stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.